In today's news, we take a deep dive into the ongoing saga surrounding Hsien, son of Singapore's founding Prime Minister, Kuan. Hsien has made headlines once again after declaring himself a political refugee under the 1951 UN Refugee Convention. He claims to have sought asylum in the UK in 2022, citing the Singapore government's actions against him and his family as the primary reason. In a bold and emotional Facebook post on October 22, 2024, he recounted the turmoil that began back in 2017 when he and his late sister, Dr. Ling, publicly expressed their mistrust towards their brother, Prime Minister Hsien. But, what exactly triggered this decision, and is there more to the story than meets the eye? Let's dive into the details as we unpack the layers of this ongoing family feud and political controversy that has gripped Singapore and garnered global attention. What's your opinion on this? Do you think Hsien's claims are valid, or is there more to the Singaporean government's response that needs to be understood? Hsien's story begins in 2017, when he and his sister voiced their concerns about the potential abuse of state powers by their brother, Prime Minister Hsien. This led to fears of persecution, which, according to Lee, kept him from attending Dr. Ling's funeral earlier this month, on October 9. He had to organize the funeral remotely, delivering his eulogy via video. Could such family disputes really lead to these severe outcomes, or is this situation more politically complex than it seems? Despite Hsien's claims of persecution, the Singapore government has responded. The Ministry of Digital Development and Information stated that both Hsien, his wife Lee Suet Fern, and their son, Lee Shangwu, are free to return to Singapore, and there are no legal restrictions preventing them from doing so. The ministry confirmed that Lee Shangwu has paid his fine for contempt of court, a charge that initially sparked much of the family's legal woes. But can this reassurance from the government be taken at face value, or is there a deeper issue of political pressure and control at play? In his Facebook post, Hsien detailed the bogus police investigation that he claims has persisted for years, and he reiterated that the UK government determined he faces a well-founded risk of persecution. As he remains a Singaporean citizen, Hsien expressed hope that one day it will be safe for him to return home. What do you think? Should he return to Singapore and face these allegations head-on, or is his decision to remain abroad justified? In addition to his personal reflections, Hsien also voiced his criticisms of Singapore, stating that its international image as a paradise hides a darker reality. In an interview with The Guardian, he pointed out this perceived dark side of Singapore, fueling more discussion about political freedom and state control in the city-state. Do you agree with Lee's assessment of Singapore, or is it an exaggerated portrayal of a rare, personal family conflict? This all comes after a long and public dispute over the handling of Lee Kuan Yew's will and the family home at 38 Oxley Road. The legal battles between Hsien, his wife, and the Singaporean authorities have only heightened since then. Earlier this year, he was ordered to pay 400,000 Singapore dollars for defaming Law and Home Affairs Minister K. Shanmugam and Foreign Affairs Minister Vivian Balakrishnan over the Ridout Road saga. Despite paying more than 600,000 Singapore dollars in total, the feud continues. The ministers, however, announced that they would donate the damages to charity. Does this legal response suggest that the government is simply seeking justice, or is it a targeted campaign against Hsien? What do you think about this escalating situation? Is Hsien justified in his decision to seek asylum, or is the Singapore government right in its approach? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to 2230 for more in-depth news coverage and analysis. Your opinion matters to us. What do you think is the true motivation behind Hsien's actions, personal, political, or both?